Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently around 8:15 p.m. Thursday evening, December the 7th, 2023 year of our Lord, and I am looking directly across the street from my house, from my driveway, and my neighbor is chasing their cat around the yard, barefooted. Y'all, it's cold outside. She's out there barefooted. She's gonna be sick as a dog. That's some crazy Oklahoma Sooner fans, man. They can't help it, you know. I guess when you cheer for a team like Oklahoma, you know, you kind of go a little bit crazy, I guess. But anyway, it's better than being a Florida fan. The guy that lives right next door to her is a Florida fan. Anyway, man, enough of that nonsense. Got a new update for y'all. We had some more things happen at work. You know, when you're dealing with tractor trailer loads, you have to worry about weight and things like that. And weight is something that can shut you down when you're dealing with commercial motor vehicles. But the load I had yesterday, it wasn't necessarily a bad load. It was a rough load, but it wasn't bad. The bad thing about it was I was 3,000 pounds overweight. And like I said before, man, I'm that guy that's gonna speak his mind when something's not right. Well, I'm at a point right now, like I told y'all before, I'm not wanting to lose my job, but at the same time, I'm gonna stand my ground and I'm gonna stick to my guns and do what's right. Because my dignity and my integrity is really the only thing that I can take with me to the grave, is my dignity and integrity. I can do my best to pass it on to my kids as far as integrity, but I mean, I'm gonna maintain that. I feel like that's the only thing a man has to fall back on, is his integrity. But yeah, I was 3,000 pounds overweight, and I wanted really bad to say something to the powers that be about it. But at the same time, I'm at a point right now where I'm kind of scared to say anything to anybody about anything. My neighbor's son, he's a good kid, man. He really is. I think he's like 20 years old. He just walked out to his truck and turned his headlights on, and man, it's shining right directly in my eyeballs, and big old high beam LED lights, man. He is killing me. And he took the mufflers off of his truck too. I'm sure y'all hear it. He's got straight pipes on that thing. Oh man, I love my neighbors. Only thing I don't like about him is he's got one of them doggone stupid Carolina squats on that Z71. ruin a good truck, man. Ruin a good truck. But anyway, I wanted to say something to somebody about it. But at the same time, I'm kind of scared to say anything about it because I'm already being blackballed, and I don't want to lose my job. I'm sure it's going to happen anyway, but I still don't want to do anything to add to it, you know. Well, my wife and I, we talked about it, and she's like, yeah, just let it go. If it happens again, say something, but just let it go. The day's already over with. So just let it be. Well, I told y'all yesterday morning that my wife and I were going to sit down the day after New Year's and have a conversation. Well, we had that conversation yesterday. And I'm going to tell you what led to this conversation. There's another guy that works with me that started his own business. He actually bought his own rig, his own truck, tractor, and he is going to be hauling containers back and forth to the port down in Savannah. And he was doing that already, but he was doing like an owner lease deal, and he just wasn't making any money. And then all of a sudden, I mean, you know how the supply chain is. I mean, the loads that were coming in from overseas basically just shut down. So he wasn't making any money, and he had to do something where he could get a steady paycheck rolling in. Because the thing about being a truck driver, man, I honestly believe that you have more overhead being a truck driver than you do in any other trade out there. Because there's a lot of money you've got to put back every single week. A lot of money. I mean, you're putting back well over your paycheck every week to prepare for breakdowns and blowouts and all your insurance that you have to pay and quarterly taxes, so on and so forth. The insurance, you name it. I mean, it's a bunch. It's a whole lot. You've got to have load insurance. I mean, it's so much. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad I didn't buy my own rig when I had the chance. But I talked to him yesterday, and like I said, we have a group chat at work, and I've been walking this earth long enough to know how things work. And when an individual normally starts, or from what I've noticed or what I've learned over the years, when an individual starts doing the exact opposite of what he normally does, I mean, something's up. He's got something up his sleeve. He or she, whatever it may be. But this guy, great guy. I mean, he really is. He's an awesome guy, man. He's one of those guys, you could call him any time of the day, any day of the week. And if you need his help with anything, whether it be money, whether you're broke down on the side of the road, whether you're in jail, whether you just got jumped by some guys at the gas station, this is the kind of guy that if he considers you a friend or someone that's like a brother to him, he will drop every single thing he is doing at the drop of a hat. As long as he's not tied up with family matters, he'll come and help you with whatever it is, as long as it's something that he can help with. He is a great guy, he really is. But he's very low key. He does not put his business out there. He doesn't say a whole lot. He's a man of very few words. And sorry guys, the truck light just cut off on me. I don't know what's going on with that thing, the dome light in my truck. But anyway, this guy, he doesn't say a whole lot, man, and it takes a lot to get him to his breaking point. I mean, a whole lot. But he's been very chippy here for about the past month on our group text. Just been saying whatever he wants to say, as soon as he wants to say it. He don't care whose feelings he's hurting, don't care who gets mad, don't care if he gets fired. I was like, yeah, there's something going on with this dude. So I called him yesterday when I got off of work, and I was like, hey bro, I was like, between me and you, man, when's your last day? And he paused for a second. He said, hey, yo, Tank. Bruh. How you know, man? Who you been talking to? How you know? I said, dude, I've been around for a while. I know. And I've been in this line of work for a long time. I know when things are going awry. I'm not dumb. I can see the writing on the wall. And he said, you kind of putting two and two together, ain't you? I said, yeah, I am. He said, man, he said, be honest with you, man. He said, don't leak this out to anybody. He said, I'm probably going to be gone before Christmas. And I'll definitely be gone by New Year's. I said, that's all I need to know, man. I said, you ain't got to explain nothing to me. I said, all I'm asking is for a heads up. I said, because that's going to give me a timeline. And I explained to him my situation. And he said, wow, bro. He said, it's like that, huh? I said, it's like that, man. I said, I've been with this company for a long time. And, but it's that time, man, you know? And he said, yeah, man, hey, I ain't mad at you. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to look out for you and your family, and you got to chase your own dreams, and you got your own story to write. He said, don't let nobody get in the way of that, bro. I said, I'm not, man. I said, man, I just wish you the best of luck, dude. I really do. I said, I appreciate everything you've done for me over the years. You've always been straightforward with me. You've always kept it real with me. And that's all I've ever asked out of anybody, man, and I appreciate that. And he was like, man, right back at you, cuz. And I really like this guy, dude. I hate to see him go. And he's not going to be in town hardly ever. He said for the first 2 or 3 years, he's going to keep that truck in the road, make as much money as he can. He wants to get completely out of debt, get his truck paid for, him and his wife's vehicles paid for. He wants to buy his little boy a new truck for his birthday when he turns 16, and he wants to get his house paid off. And they're wanting to buy a little piece of land out in the country over in Aiken, South Carolina. And that's about 30 minutes from where I'm at right now. But he's wanting to buy a little house out in the country and build on it, man. And you know, he said he's wanting to get 2 or 3 more trucks and maybe have some guys work for him and just sit back and collect paychecks. And he pretty much said the same thing I said. You know, he wants to create jobs for people, be a small business, and he wants to be a business that takes care of its employees. And he said the company we work for now, he said, if I've learned one thing from this company, he said, it's exactly how not to run a business. I said, that's funny, man. I said, I always kind of thought the same thing, you know. But anyway, enough of that. So he's quitting before January. Got another guy. He's been there probably about a year. Fairly young cat. He's probably 25, 26 years old. Single, no kids. He's got a little girlfriend that lives up in Atlanta. And he's one of the newer guys that has to work Saturdays. And the rule of thumb is if they don't put you on the schedule, you're off. You're just off. I mean, you don't have to answer the phone, nothing on Saturdays. The Saturday rules are completely different than what they are on Monday through Friday. So, didn't put him on the schedule. He packed his bag, went up to his girlfriend's house in Atlanta, stayed the weekend with her. And he told me Monday. I didn't put this on the last couple videos I made, but he told me Monday, he was like, dude, I said, I just got written up. I said, what you get written up for, man? He said, man, Saturday morning my phone blew up till about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was in the bed asleep with my girlfriend up in Atlanta. And the last time the phone rang, it woke me up. And he said, we stayed out, you know, hanging out with friends up there. We stayed out till probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get no sleep. And he said the phone woke me up about 8 o'clock, and he said I had like 30 missed calls, right around 30 missed calls. And when it finally woke me up and I answered the phone, it was one of our supervisors calling him, wanting to know why he wasn't at work. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. He was supposed to be there at 3 in the morning. And he said, man, what are you talking about? I'm off. My name's not on dispatch. And the rule is this. If you're not on dispatch, it means you're off. You don't have to answer the phone or nothing. He said, nah, man. He said, you're supposed to be at work at 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, well, you need to take that up with my supervisor because he evidently put the wrong dispatch out, man. He said, I'm up in Atlanta right now. He's like, I'm 2.5, 3 hours away from my house. And then when I get there, I got to get dressed and then get to work. I'm a good 4 hours from the yard. And he said, well, man, you got to come on in, man. We got to have you. That truck's still sitting on the yard. These customers need their groceries. And he said, you got a lot of stuff on that truck too, man, so I suggest you get a move on. And he just flat out told him, he said, I'm not doing it, man. He said, like I said, I'm off. I'm in Atlanta. I'm still in the bed. He said, all right, man, well, I'll just let you take that up with your supervisor Monday when you get to work. And he said, all right, cool. It is what it is. He wasn't sweating it, you know. He wasn't worried about it because he knew that our supervisor told him he was off. Come in Monday morning, supervisor was waiting on him, had a write-up waiting on him. No call, no show. Happens again, he's fired automatically. I talked to him Monday afternoon. He told me about it. He said, dude, he said, I'm just done. He said, you know, I've only been here for a year. That guy's doing about 55 through this neighborhood. Speed limit's 20. These kids out here playing, man. Ignorance has no boundaries, y'all. But anyway, he said, I'm just done, man. He said, I've been here about a year. And in that short period of time, things have done gotten so bad. He said, nothing is the same as it was a year ago when I started. And he said, then this, man. He said, I just can't deal with this. He said, I can only take so much, man. I'm done. He said, you know, I've got plenty of money saved up, man. I ain't worried about it. He said, I'm gone before January. He said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and finish out the year for tax reasons, but I'm going to try to find a job before Christmas, man. If I can't, I'm just going to take a couple weeks off and use that time to find a job, man. He said, I'm just done. I can't do this no more. I was like, I feel you, man. I was like, I don't recommend quitting before finding a job, you know, but, you know, you do you, man. I understand. Trust me. I've been dealing with it for 10 years now. Know exactly what you're going through. So, that's another 2 people that are quitting. And those are 2 routes that are going to have to be ran on Fridays before January happens. Remember I told you this is a God thing, and He is doing everything in His power to get me where He needs to be. There ain't no doing everything in His power. He is getting me where He needs to be. When He wants something done, He gets it done one way or another. It's going to happen. But, I mean, I can see it clearly. I mean, this has got God, Jesus, written all over it. All over it. He's pushing me out the door, man. Like I said, man, I'm at peace with it. It is what it is. I also told y'all my wife and I had that conversation yesterday. As bad as I wanted to quit 2 months ago, right now, I don't necessarily feel led to this decision. But, like I said, I'm only a man. I'm not perfect. And quitting my job in the middle of wintertime, quitting my full-time job in the middle of the wintertime to chase a dream that is this light, man. Boy, me and this light gonna fight. Y'all hear me? Me and this light gonna fight, man. My truck ain't never done this before. I don't know why it's doing that right now. But I just feel like it wouldn't be wise for me as a man to make the decision to quit a job, a full-time job with a steady income year-round, to pursue a dream that is really, when you're starting out, you know, don't have but 30 or 40 customers, and the bulk of your money is coming in the summer. I just don't think it'd be a good idea to quit my job right now in the middle of winter. Now, yes, I know that God will make a way when there is no way. I know that. I've seen it firsthand. But the problem is, I'm not the only one being affected by this. My entire family will be affected by this. And I'm not willing to put the well-being of my children and my wife in jeopardy like that. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the best we can to try to get through December without getting fired. Okay? We get through December. Here over the past year, I've had 3 potential commercial customers reach out to me. None of those three worked out. Okay? My price was a little too high, which was fine. These customers, after talking to multiple landscapers in the area, these customers' expectations were way too high for the budget they had. And I'm not the only one that said that. I'm in good company when I say that. But I'm thinking that, the start of the year, there's gonna be customers out there wanting to renew contracts or either reach out to other landscapers that are looking for to fill their schedules up because they're not happy with their previous contractors. So that's something that can happen. I'm still getting phone calls every day. I mean, people calling me for leaf cleanups, bush jobs, tree jobs. Just trying to get on the schedule for next year, for routine weekly or bi-weekly service. And now 9 times out of 10, these are people that it's just a little too far out of reach for me. But I am still picking up customers here and there. And yes, in the dead middle of winter. But if I'm not gone before the winter time's over, I'm going into this season completely optimistic. Assuming there's not going to be any breakdowns at the very beginning of the season, I'm going to save every single dime that I make, other than what I have to put up for overhead. I'm going to save every single dime that I make. I'm going to create a huge pad for myself to fall back on. And most likely, when April rolls around, I'm out the door. Now, the key phrase here is most likely. It's not a guarantee. There's a lot of things that can happen. You never know. I may wake up in the morning and every single person on my clientele list may just uproot and move to another town. Or they may just drop me for other reasons. You never know. That's the thing about having a service business. You never know what could happen. But we are both about 98% sure that the beginning of the 2024 mowing season will be the time frame that I step out and go completely full-time into this. And if you ask me personally, and if you ask my wife, we will both look you straight in the eye and tell you that for our situation and for our family, that is the wisest decision we could make. We're both terrified. We're both nervous wrecks. We both love the Lord dearly, but we are both human beings. And there are plenty of examples in the Bible where it's okay to doubt. You would prosper greatly to believe, but it's okay to doubt as well, because God will show his faithfulness. And that's the approach we're going to take at this. When it comes to the well-being of our family, we're just not at a point in our walk with the Lord where we're just willing to put it all in the hands of faith. I would like to be able to do that, but I'm just too scared, man. I really am. I'm just too scared. I've got a lot riding on this. But most likely in April, I'm out the door. Only time can tell. All I can say is we'll see. And we're wishing for the best, we're praying for the best, and we're hoping for the best. And I'm not into all that name it, claim it crap, but we're believing that this is going to happen, and we're believing that this is going to work out. That's just where we're at. But anyway, just wanted to fill y'all in on that. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the advice. I appreciate the advice on the herbicide. I really do. Man, y'all are some good folks. Y'all really are. The green industry is tight, man. It really is. I'm learning just how tight it is, man. We really do look out for each other. I knew everybody right here in this area, in this community that I'm living in, we all looked out for each other, but I didn't realize it was like that nationwide. And man, I appreciate y'all. I really do. Y'all been a lot more help than what y'all realize, man. I've been struggling, and my wife's been struggling, and y'all are helping us get through this, man. I just want y'all to know from the bottom of my heart, and I speak for my wife as well, we really do appreciate it. And but hey, man, I just got back from the gas station. I went and gassed up all the equipment, and got some 2-cycle mix. But I'm about to head on up and call it a night, man. I'm gonna put some food in my guts, and I'm gonna call it a night. But anyway, man, I hope y'all have a good weekend. Hope y'all killed it this week. Until the next one, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Bye.